Welcome to a great chat. I'm feeling so incredibly pumped. I just returned from San Diego where I was at uh, my mastermind with my inner circle. I'm in James Wedmore's inner circle mastermind. And we had our last retreat, I can't speak, of 2019, 3 days in San Diego. Actually, it was like 3.5 days in San Diego. And it was absolutely incredible. I am feeling inspired. I'm feeling energized, totally lit up. I feel like my soul is on fire. And it's really an incredible feeling to be in a room of people, like-minded people that are all doing the same thing that you're doing in their various respective fields and looking to accomplish major transformation and growth in their businesses. And being around that energy is honestly life-changing. I was fortunate. I was asked to do a panel on PR, or not a panel, but like a whole presentation on PR for this group. These are all leading authorities in their space, really well-known internet kind of personalities that are crushing it in their businesses. And I taught them how they can share their message, share their transformational stories, their know-how, their frameworks for getting great results with the world through the media. And they seemed really inspired by that. So the benefit of being in a mastermind, and I was just kind of feeling so amazing and so fortunate to be in that room with that energy. And it just reminded me of that benefit of being in a mastermind where you have the collective know-how and the collective energy and just the motivation, inspiration, and accountability, all of that. Like, there were people in there that would ask questions. We do hot seats, and they would ask questions, and we've been working together now for a year. We've met in person 3 times, and we do monthly accountability calls, coaching calls. And some of the people in the group are asking the same questions, asking for feedback. And what's happening is they're not taking that feedback. So they're stuck getting in their own way. And the beauty of a mastermind is we all sit there and hold that person accountable and say, didn't you ask that last time? And isn't this what we told you? And why haven't you done that? What's getting in your way? How can we help you? How can we help you work through this? So it reminded me why I love being in that mastermind, so I can learn how to be the best coach, the best mentor to you, and why I love my agency accelerator group and that collective mind of badasses that are in that community. I'm so fortunate to work with them. And anyway, that was just an incredible 3.5 days back home with my family, feeling super, super energized. And if you think I'm like overdressed here, the reality is that I'm wearing pajama bottoms on the bottom, but I'm not going to show you that. But I just like quickly threw on a tank I just got that was waiting for me when I got home. I just ordered online and threw on a jacket. So had to look sort of cute online for you so I can talk about this topic, because we kind of teased it out as really understanding your definition of success and really why it's important. And this to me is one of the most foundational aspects of strategizing to build your business. And so many people don't do it. They may have an outdated definition of success. Maybe it's just one dimensional, and they think that if they'll have enough money, if they bring in enough money, and also like, what is enough? When will you know it's enough? But really thinking about what success looks like for you, beyond just revenue or income, or, bringing in a client on retainer, whatever that looks like. It's changed for me in my life. And I just want to really stress why this mattered for me and why I share it with you to help you start to see what is possible for you. So it's really important that you know what your personal definition of success is, because it's different for everyone. And if you don't have a clear picture of that, it's hard to work towards that. You end up being reactive. You end up being really only driven by money, and you start to take opportunities that don't serve you. They don't match your vision and your values, right? So, what I have discovered over time is my definition of change has changed. Back in the day, when I was an attorney, 27 years old, I was all about having a career that sounded prestigious and being able to say, well, I'm an attorney, and it sounded impressive. People know, you're a doctor, you're a lawyer. That means you're successful. You've made it, right? Went to a top tier law school, passed the bar on my first try. I got a job at a really prestigious law firm, making six figures plus when I was 25 years old. I mean, that's success, right? I mean, by most people's kind of, surface level definition, that sounds like a successful career. But what if you're miserable? What if you absolutely do not enjoy what you're doing every single day? You feel like you're not living your purpose. You feel like you're not serving people. It sounds less and less like a successful career and a successful life at that point, right? So, what I did at that point in my life at 27, I looked around my law firm and I thought to myself, there are no women here. There's really nobody here, men or women, that have the type of life that I want to have. I mean, yes, they've all made it, quote unquote, made it, but all of the women that I saw as my possible role models, they either were partners and they were not mothers, or they had babies and they barely came back to work. Maybe they took Fridays off, which is awesome. It sounds great in theory, but they started to cut that woman's billable hours. And then the firm has a way to say to them, you know what, you're not meeting your billable hours, so we're going to find somebody else. And it does not lend itself well to a situation where you can have a career and be a mom and have it all. So what I realized is that I didn't see a clear path for myself that would give me all of the things in my life that I was interested in having, right? That success looked different for me than what the possible path was going to be if I stuck around and I stayed in law. So I left, and with no training, no contacts, no experience, I started this company, Generation PR. Now, that was in March going to be 15 years ago. And I have now realized that my definition of success has drastically changed. And it's one of the main reasons why I teach my entire framework for how I run my business. So what means success to me is working on things that light me up, working on my own terms, supporting clients that I believe in, being in the driver's seat with who I get to work with, and being completely in charge of my own time. Give me a thumbs up or a heart or something, or a comment if that, even if you're watching this on a replay, if that sounds like it would be something you would want to incorporate in your own definition of success. Being completely in charge of my time is my number one driver for what is my litmus test about whether something feels right to me. Is this how I want to spend my time? Being able to build my business around and to support the kind of life that I want to live, right? So success now to me means so much more than just making my parents feel proud. Like, I would think that they are probably even more proud of me now because I'm happy. I'm happier. I have more time. I have time with my family, right? Happiness, contentment, that is the most important driver for what I would define as success. And the thing is, when I started, what I teach, the model, the framework, the roadmap, that did not exist. It didn't exist anywhere. I had to cut things down with a machete. There's a song by, is it Cake? There's a song that my husband, a girl, maybe it's Beck, a girl with a long skirt and a short jacket. I think it's Cake. And my husband always says, this song is about you, because it says she cuts through red tape with a machete. Um, that's what I had to do when I started this business. I had to figure things out on my own. I had to open doors that were completely locked and sealed and forge this path. And I did it so that you don't have to. And I built the framework that I teach so that you don't have to. So if my definition of success looks like what you want to have in your life, know that there's a model that you can follow so that you can have it too. So the other thing that has been the reason why this is so important to me, being in control of your own time, is that I now have 2 kids. I have 2 boys, 9 and 7. And we found out several years ago that our older son was diagnosed as having autism spectrum disorder. He's very high functioning. He's a really awesome kid, but we were able to get him the help that he needed, right? This is like therapies, occupational therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, seeing a nutritionist, seeing a psychiatrist, seeing a family therapist, getting him tested, taking him to the behavioral specialist and the developmental pediatrician to get all the support we need, going to his IEP meetings. That's an individual education plan. That means going to his school and fighting for the resources and the support that he needs. It's a lot of time that goes into it. And of course, as a parent, you want to be there for all of it, and you want to fight, advocate for your child so they get what they need. And my son is doing incredibly well in 3rd grade because we intervened early, because I was present to notice that things were not developing at a normal pace. And if I didn't have this model, this agency model that has served me so well, if I was still an attorney, there's no way that I would have been able to take all that time off, meet my obligations at work, be present for my child. My kids come home from school and I'm here. They know mommy's at work, but I get to see them. I check in with their homework, get to give them hugs and kisses, hear from them right when they come home from school, when they're most excited about their day, have those real conversations. To me, that is the most important marker of success for me, being in charge of my time, being a present and checked in parent. My son is crushing it now, and I feel really grateful because I know that I would not have been able to do that and check into all his stuff, taking that much time, if I was still an attorney. And running my own business gives me that flexibility, gives me that freedom, right? And because this has been such an incredible model to support my definition of success, I feel now that it is my mission. I feel incredibly compelled and driven to share this with everyone. So you don't have to figure it out on your own. So you don't have to, open doors with a machete, right? Like I did. Like, let me just tell you what to do so you can fast track your results. And so this is my definition of having it all, is a career that I love, that lights me up. Doing work that I love and believe in. Now 15 years later, I still wake up every day excited, legitimately excited to work. I'm so happy. I love what I do. I love our clients. I love the opportunities that come our way. And I love teaching this, right? And just being in charge of my own time, going to their school, volunteering, being a room mom, being an art docent, taking a trip. I was away all week this week at a mastermind retreat. That's what I started chatting about at the top of the live, but also just knowing I can go. My husband and I are going to be going out of town together to spend some time together, having that flexibility. And also the revenue that allowed our family to stay completely even keel while my husband left his really steady and predictable and, great paying corporate job to start his own business. And now he feels passionate and he feels lit up being in control of his time and who he gets to work with. And he never saw that as a possibility for himself. What I had given him as a model for how to do that too. And he's happier than he's ever been. And we had a runway where he could have as much time as he needed to make that happen, because my business supported us in, while he figured out what his business was going to be doing. Like, we're very, very, very lucky, right? So what I teach has also worked for other moms that have gone through this agency accelerator framework, like Melissa Bird, who left her job and started her own agency, lasered in on crisis communications. One of her very first clients was the New York Mets, and she's a mom, and she's really fitting this in and making it happen and living her dream and figuring out her niche that lights her up and who she serves. This also worked for Candace Melamed, who, she had been running her business for 10 years, and she's a mom, and she felt so overwhelmed and so tangled and so frustrated. She was ready to burn it to the ground. She was like, I don't even enjoy this anymore. And we got in and we untangled this mess and gave her a framework, a systematic framework for how she could drive more profitability with less time in her business. And she is now falling in love again with her business, and she's around her kids and she's present. That is huge. To me, that is exactly the reason that I do this. It's also worked for moms like Tammy Enfield and Dwayna Clark, who are currently going through this program. Dwayna just got married, but she has a baby, or I don't know about baby, like a toddler age child. And she's, really diving into this, taking it seriously, implementing the program and having results. And I've given them my framework for profitability without overwhelm. And that's what I've experienced in my business, and why I created the Agency Accelerator, so that I could teach it and share it with everyone, because we shouldn't have to suffer. We should be able to have it all. To me, having it all means great career I love, that I'm extremely proud of, having great revenue for my business, and working with clients I love, and being a mom, being a great wife, being a fully present and checked in wife and mother, so that I'm not distracted and my mind isn't thinking about what email's coming in and jumping at the drop of a hat when a client emails at off hours. That is ridiculous. I'm not going to be running my business like that anymore. I haven't in years, once I figured this whole model out. So that's the framework for the vision of having it all that matters for me. And it comes from this agency model. It comes from this path to profitability framework with the 4 pillars of strategy, sale, service, and scale, and knowing how they fit together and how you leverage results to get bigger and better opportunities, more revenue in your business without the overwhelm. So I hope that helps explain why I share this, and how through this work, my definition has changed. My definition of what being a success means, going from making a lot of money and having a career that sounded prestigious as being the only 2 things that mattered, to pivoting and having all of those things, plus, great revenue, time, working with who you want to work with, living your life how you want to live it, and spending your time how you want to spend it. That's the ultimate definition of success for me. And if that sounds like what your vision of success for yourself looks like, continue to follow along. I'm just sharing a lot about what I have to offer you. And one of the things that you can grab here, I posted a link to my 10 reasons why you need to start an agency right now. This is something that will help get the wheels turning. Even if you have an agency, it'll get you thinking about the ways that business can serve you to give you the kind of life that you want. So it's a win-win situation. You want to create a business that serves you, and you don't want to go too far down a path creating something, working your butt off, and resenting this business that you've built because it's draining you, sucking the life out of you, and making you feel crazy. It does not have to be that way. So I wanted to share that with you. I hope it gets your wheels turning for what your vision of success looks like, and what you would like to get more out of in your life and your business. And I'd love to hear from you. If you wouldn't mind posting in the comments, what sparked in your mind from this discussion. And I'm still on this major, major high from being in a room of incredible badasses in my mastermind, and my agency accelerator program has that mastermind component to it. And having a community of like-minded people to support you, coach you, give you mentorship, hold you accountable, and cheer you on is absolutely priceless. So let me know, what is your definition of success? Post in the comments, and I'm here to cheer you on. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.